became a hunter kind of thing, right? So, blah, blah, blah. Right. Third question is always, oh, what do you think about Stuart McInroy now? You know what I mean? Right. Here's what I think of Stuart McInroy now, right? Stuart said something really bad to me, you know what I mean? Right, that's what led to Edinburgh. He said something really bad to me. But do you know what? They were words. They were words. That's what it was, words. He had no intentions. No intention at all of doing what he said. He said what he said because he wanted to. At that stage in his life, he was fucking hurting and he wanted to hurt other people as much as he humanly could. And he said the one thing to me that he knew would hurt me and get a reaction at me. That's simply it, right? What happened at Edinburgh shouldn't have happened at Edinburgh, you know what I mean? It shouldn't have happened, you know what I mean? It's like, it did happen, right? So, there's no taking it back, right? But that should have just been a sting and an end to it, you know what I mean? But you can't reverse time, right? What do I think of Stuart now? I spoke to Stuart since I got out of jail and he got out of jail. In the meantime, I had seen his social work reports, and as I'm reading through page after page, it seems very familiar to mine. I mean, it feels very similar to my story, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't have a great upbringing at all, you know what I mean? Like, a very hard upbringing, you know what I mean? A very hard upbringing, and I think to myself, there, but for the grace of God, go I, you know what I mean? Like, say I hadn't picked up a knife, say I hadn't went out and used violence to get rid of my hurt and my, there's something, only abuse victims know this, you've got something inside you that if you don't let it out, it swallows you, you know what I mean? And that's why there are a lot of suicide victims, you know what I mean? So, right, Stuart, I spoke to maybe 5 or 6 times now. I spoke to him when he was he'd been sectioned into a mental hospital, right? He'd actually asked for the help, basically, right? They didn't seem like really helpful towards him, you know what I mean? So he moved back to Scotland. He gets a bit of a rough time because obviously I've got a lot of people that follow me and like are very loyal to me, right? And he gets a lot of hard time because of the Aaron Bryant situation, right? But here's the thing, right? Seeing this we give people in life second chances, they'll forever do what they were doing, you know what I mean? And I can tell talking to Stuart that he's matured greatly, you know what I mean? Like, you can have see back then, you couldn't have a conversation with him. Stuart will be the first one to admit he was an absolute tit, you know what I mean? He was an absolute tit that even if you could get 2 minutes worth of good conversation at him, after that 2 minutes was up, he was straight back to the fucking nonsense, you know what I mean? I sat and spoke to him for an hour and a half just yesterday there, you know what I mean? So, my feelings on Stuart McInroy nowadays, I believe the boy should be given a second chance. Or what do you want him to do? Do you want him just to keep drinking and having any kind of life, drinking and fucking like trolling people and things like that and keep getting himself into trouble? Or do you want him to become a productive member of society where they can go and get a job, get a motor, missus, and move on for the hurt that he caused? You know what I mean? Because he is sorry, you know what I mean? He just doesn't feel like the people that he hurt are prepared to accept his apology. He's apologised to me as a man, and as a man I accepted his apology, right? Because I understand for seeing his social work reports, the life he had stole his adulthood. He went into adulthood with broken fucking... He was broken before he went into his adulthood, you know what I mean? So, see, when you're abused as a man, I feel you don't mature until you're well past maturity levels, you know what I mean? And Stuart was a perfect example of that. I was a perfect example. I didn't mature until like 2005, 2006, you know what I mean? 2004 and that, I was still running about selling drugs up in Postal Park, fucking, thinking I was a fucking gangster, right? Stuart was fucking trolling people at the age of 27 and things like that, right? I think the boy's only about 31 and 32. So, I just believe, like, just give the boy a fucking second chance, see what he does with it. See if he fucks it up, then aye, every cunt's got a right to be arsey and all that about it and things like that, but if the boy gets on with it and actually makes amends, right, and becomes a productive member of society, then who loses? You know what I mean? Like, who loses in that situation? You know what I mean? So, anybody that comes across Stuart, right, and they feel like saying something to him because he what he done to me, right, or they want to hurt Stuart because of what he done to me, I'm asking you, please don't, you know what I mean? I've got a new saying, don't look down on people unless it's to help them up, you know what I mean? That's Stuart McInroy incident, right, and how I feel about Stuart, right? One of the other ones is, like, why do I get so